All right. Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of The Blind Spot, where we talk with blind athletes reaching excellence. Always brought to you by the United States Association of Blind Athletes. I am your host, Kyle Coon, USABA Program and Safe Sport Coordinator. Whew, guys, we are, we're just cranking right along. Just a few more athletes to introduce you guys to that are going to be representing Team USA in goalball at the Paralympics. God, wow, we are less than a month away from the start of pool play in goalball at the Paralympic Games. So super exciting stuff. But guys, as always, just a reminder, this is USABA's 45th year in existence, 45-year anniversary. So keep an eye out on our social media feeds, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that fun stuff for that content that we're pushing out, including our 45 for 45 anniversary series that we do every Friday. And then as well, keep an eye on the newsletter and again, on all those social media channels as we're continuing to promote our 100 Days to Tokyo campaign. Although right now, I think we are only, let's see, what's today? July 26th. We are only, five. Guys, we're less than 30 days away from opening ceremonies. Whew, crazy. But anyway, I could prattle on all day long. You guys don't want to hear me yammer. So let's dive right into our interview for today. I am so excited to talk to Miss Amanda Dennis, 3-time Paralympian in the sport of goalball. Amanda, welcome to the show. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going pretty good today. Just finished with a 2.5-hour goalball practice. It was good spirits, lots of positive vibes going into it and leaving it. And yeah, I'm feeling great today.
Awesome. Good stuff. Let's just do a quick little bit of background on you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your eye condition and how you found your way to the sport of goalball?
Yeah, sure. So I was born with a congenital condition called aniridia, which means that I don't have any irises. So if you look at my eyes, they just look dark. Like there's just whatever you would see if you're looking at a normal pupil,
Huh.
which means that normal light isn't allowed. Like normal light going into my eye, there's no filter. So generally, when you have an iris, it contracts and retracts
Mhm.
like depending on the light that is around you at the time. And since I don't have that, all the light is let into my eyes, which leads to some of my blindness. I also have cataracts and some nystagmus and some astigmatism in general. I think all blind
Okay.
people have that, but yeah.
Right.
And since I was born with that, I actually didn't realize for a while that I was visually impaired.
Mhm.
I don't think maybe somebody bothered to tell me, but I didn't realize. So um, I started playing soccer when I was like 3 or 4. I really only wanted to do it because my older brother played soccer and I
Mhm.
saw him going out there and having fun. He really enjoyed it. And so I begged my parents to play. And I ended up sitting in the middle of the field watching the other kids play. And I ended up actually having a pretty bad experience with sports. And I did not want to do it ever again. So I was like, I don't want to do sports. Don't sign me up. I couldn't see a thing. And I had the general notion that sports were not for me. And
Mhm.
then a few years later, Blaze Sports America, which is the Paralympic legacy left behind by the 1996 Atlanta Games, had
Mhm.
a summer camp for athletes who are visually impaired. And they showcased so many adaptive sports there. So goalball, judo, swimming, really any sport that they can adapt for visually impaired people, any sport that's in the Paralympics that hosts visually impaired athletes, those are the sports that they showed us how to play. And
Mm.
I walked away from that camp feeling like I could never say that I couldn't adapt a sport or that sports weren't for me. And
Mhm.
that sport was, or that summer camp in general was really special for me because they had athletes who competed in a previous Paralympic Games
Mhm.
and they were showcasing that sport, their medals, their stories. And the one that I really loved the most was goalball. And goalball kind of, it left a really positive impression on me because it really equalizes the field in general. So you're playing the sport, nobody has an advantage.
Mhm.
It's something that everybody can excel in, and it's always innovating. So there's no point in goalball where you can say, I'm the best and I've reached the highest level. There's always a point where where you're going to get better. And so for me, I continued playing in youth national tournaments, started playing in adult regionals at a really young age, 8, 9 years old.
Whew.
And then I was actually selected for the U19 Youth Worlds and Student Games team that competed in 2009 in Colorado Springs.
Oh,
And from
wow.
yeah, and from that camp, or from that actual competition, it was really great. There were a lot of diverse countries there, and you of cultural diversity. But one really great thing for me that left a really great impression was being able to come to the women's national Paralympic team camps. So I got an invite along with two of the other youth girls to come to the national team camps and kind of see where we were at. And for me at that point in time, I was saying, yeah, it would be really great to make Rio in 2016, 'cause
Yeah.
I was still like 15, 16 years old. And so my goal was to make a later games and not look into London, but try my best anyways. And it turned out that I was selected for London, and I went in as a rookie, and it was one of the coolest experiences that I've ever had. I got so much experience at that games. I
Mhm.
didn't think that I was going to play it all. And then I ended up playing actually a lot. And I walked away with a lot of takeaways, and I've just tried to build upon that in my sporting career.
Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, my goodness, that's quite the journey. I mean, going from, you know, I never want to play sports ever again to, all of, to making your way to representing the U.S. at the London Paralympics, at Rio, and now, going to Tokyo. I mean, you have to have had some pretty crazy awesome memories over that span of years. Like, is there kind of a standout memory of, let's take it back to London. Is there a kind of a standout moment or memory in that particular games um that stuck with you and made you want to, you know keep going, or like what's keeping you motivated and pushing forward to keep getting better?
Yeah, so there's like so many moments. So for me, it was really awesome being able to walk into the venue the first time in London, and the crowds cheering for you, no matter who you play for. Everybody's so excited, like that you're on the court and you're playing, and everybody gets excited for a goal. And we don't experience that a lot in the US.
Right.
Where you have a lot of goalball players there, but you don't have people who've never heard of this sport but are really excited to come and see it. So that was one of my first standout things. And then just in general, the team camaraderie and the atmosphere that we had. And something that made me always want to come back to goalball was, again, the fact that you can always get better at it. Like, we
Mhm.
left London, we got sixth place. And we walked away with a lot of takeaways of how we can get better, how we can innovate. And I was only 18 years old at that Paralympic Games. And I was like, wow, look at these amazing international players. There's so many great players to look up to want to be as good as or better than, so many things to want to shoot for. And I was like, I want to be one of the best. I want to shoot for that. And it was so amazing just seeing all the different kind of playing styles from the countries around the world, and to see where we're at versus them. And some of that stuff just hooks you in, and you just want to keep going. And then, of course, the last thing is some of the really cool friends that you make from other countries that you would never ever get the chance to make had you not been at that level or not been able to compete at the games.
Yeah, let's kind of talk about that a little bit, because one of the really cool things about competing internationally, and you know, and all that is that you make such, great friendships and, have incredible relationships with people across the world. And you happen to be celebrating a 1 year marriage anniversary to an international goalball player. So why don't you walk us through the personal side of things and how you know how that all came about.
Yeah, so we met actually through the Youth World and Student Games in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And in goalball, you always really know about the great players. Oh, this person's a really great player, that person's a really great player. And one really cool thing about youth is that everybody in youth goalball is always so open and always so friendly and wanting to talk to other people, where you don't get as much chance sometimes with some of the international women's goalball or international men's goalball. And
Mm-hmm.
so we kind of kept in touch a little bit and then reconnected again in 2018 around the World Championship time period. We were talking a lot, and we realized, wow, we really have a lot in common, and got to know each other a lot better. And it kind of just escalated from there. Like, he is probably, I would say, the male version of me, just from Germany. So that's kind of crazy to say. So he's different. He's one of the brains on their teams. He can tell you
Okay.
everything that you want to know about international players. He can tell you that. He's a strategist. He's one of the hardest workers that I know in general. And so it's been really amazing to kind of be able to train with him, because we're able to offer each other feedback on how to get better, some of the thoughts that we run into in goalball. And we're both centers. So we can talk to each other. This is what really helps me. You should try this out of practice and run through
Mm-hmm.
it. And he's been really so helpful for me in general for training this last year, because a lot of the time, as we know, with COVID, it was a little bit difficult to be able to go and work out and lift and even get access to a goalball court. And
Yeah.
in the times where the US was locked down and we had nothing, Germany was open.
Right.
And so we were able to train on the court, whether it was, individually working on throws, shot selections. He helped me so much with my offense this year. And then for me, in the weightlifting room, he was the person who would be like, that looks a little bit too easy. And even if I was saying, but I'm dying, like I don't think that I can lift another pound, he'd be like, well, I already put like 2 more kilograms on there. So you're just gonna have to try it out. And vice versa. We just push each other really hard. And we
Mm-hmm.
have a really great working relationship together with that. We have a lot in common outside of goalball, obviously. And we have some of the same goals. He
Yeah.
obviously wants to bring home gold for Germany, and for me, I have so many goals for USA, and I would like to play for a longer time than just this year. And I feel like I have a longer career ahead of me. So he's always been really helpful with trying to push me forward. So it's just amazing.
That is, I mean, that's awesome. So you did you so you guys spent probably the majority of this past year, in Germany. When did you get back to when did you get back to the States and get back on the court with the women's team and start your prep for Tokyo?
Yeah, so I've had sporadic periods. So
Okay.
whenever I come to the US, I don't want to come for like a week or two. So
Right.
whenever I come for a month or so and then switch off. So I'll spend a month here, a month
Mm-hmm.
back in Germany, a month here, and really be able to work on the things that I need to when I go home back to Germany, but really take advantage of the time in the US, because we have so many amazing resources at Turnstone with our strength and conditioning coach, EJ, and also with Jake as our national team coach, being the head coach of the resident program. We're able
Mm-hmm.
to really take advantage of that time. So I came back in November for a month prior to Christmas, and we had a larger training camp. And then I actually came back in January again for about 3 weeks, and
Okay.
then headed home for 2 weeks, and then came back in March for 2 months until May. And then I went home for about a month at the end of May until the beginning of July. And then now I'm back in Fort Wayne until the remainder of the games. And so for me, it's always refreshing to go back because in Fort Wayne, you have such an amazing training environment and a positive way to be able to work with your team and to really be able to lock things down. And when I go back to Germany, I'm able to kind of backpedal a little bit and say, okay, this is really a great mental reset for me. And
Yeah.
I know what I need to work on from Fort Wayne. And we really lock in on some of those details and really hit those hard. So, for me, I had a huge focus when I went back and I told everybody what my goals were. And then when I came back here this week, I showed that I worked on those goals. And for me, that was really important because we are going to have moments where we're going to have to be able to hit a shot or we're going to have to be able to block a shot. And for all of us, we all set personal goals that we wanted to meet, and it just happens that wherever I go, whether it's in Germany or in the US, I'm able to take advantage of the resources and the time and the people around me.
That's awesome. So, I mean, let's talk about some of those goals. What are like, give me, give me give me your top 3 goals that that you've been striving for, that you've been pushing for since since Rio, and what are the goals, and how are you going to define whether you've successfully achieved those?
Right. So after Rio, we had a little bit of a turnover with our team. We had some people retire. Our last national team coach, he also retired as well. And those 2 players, Jen and Ken, had an amazing career, and they were really great assets to the USA Goalball program. And we had to reset entirely. And one of the focuses for us was to be able to change the way that we're playing. So to be able to innovate the game our way, something that works for our team. And there is like a huge thing in goalball where you should be playing maybe the way that works the best for your team and not the way that you've been playing for 20 or 40 years. And
Right.
though that way, it worked for us for a really long time for defense, it started to show that we needed to innovate our defense after Rio with some of the big gaps that we had, some of the holes that we had in our defense. And so as we were rebuilding our team for 2017, we brought a young team to the Pan Am Games, and we got a bronze medal, but we learned a lot about where we were, and we went into the World Championship year to see where we're at against the big teams, so Russia, Turkey, China, and to generally get feedback from where we are. We wanted to get a medal, but we also knew that we had some ways to go with what we needed to work on. And so we came back and we got 5th place, and we said, okay, these are the things that we need to work on. We need to work on all moving together. We need to work on our communication. We need to work on shot execution when it matters. And those are things that we've improved on dramatically since 2018, which helped us get 2nd in the qualifier in 2019, which was our goal to qualify for the Tokyo Paralympic Games.
Yep.
And we hit that. And then from 2019 on, it was a upward trajectory. We wanted to work on our defensive alignment, work on some backup defense saves that are going to be really important in the games, and working on really executing when the time matters. So when Coach Jake calls a shot, or if we have a penalty shot opportunity, to make sure that we're throwing a shot that will make it into the net and not be thrown out because it's a wasted opportunity. And so for us, when we reach the Tokyo Games, we will say that we've climbed a ladder, that we weren't saying from 2016 that we are going to be this or we're going to be that the entire journey to Tokyo, that we climbed our way up and that we deserve the spot that we're going to get because we worked for it. And with our team, we've had so many amazing resources the last 4 years. And this last year, we actually got a resource of sports psychology, which really helped our team quite a lot because a lot of goalball is mental. You don't get to see the other team. There's some times where maybe you miss a block because you overextended or something, and your brain is going crazy because you're in your own thoughts. And the sports psychology has really helped us, not only on our on-court play, but also off the court. Like, we're all getting along so well, and our communication and just everything about our team right now is just on point. And I can't I can't brag more. Like, it's so great right now. So and I think that's the really great point. And we haven't had that in previous years. We haven't had a team that always gets along. We haven't had a team that's had amazing communication or able to give feedback to each other. We haven't had a team that's been this prepared like we are right now. And I think that when we go to Tokyo, whatever spot that we earn to make, we will have deserved the spot that we get. And I think that's how we're going to measure that.
I love it. I love it. So let's fast forward a little bit to Tokyo. Like, you guys know who at least is in who's going to be the women's first match, and what who's in your pool, who are you guys going to be playing in pool play for that first little bit?
Yeah, so our first game is against Brazil.
Okay.
It will basically be a rematch of the Paralympics, or not the Paralympics, but the Paralympic bronze game, the Pan Am gold game. We know Brazil very well, and they also know us very well. So it's sure to be a very interesting game. We also have Paralympic champions Turkey in our bracket, along with Egypt, which is kind of a wild card. We've never seen Egypt before, so we have host country Japan as well. So that should be really great. They always put up a good defensive front against everybody. And then, of course, we have ourselves. So I don't think I'm forgetting anybody, but we have 5 teams in our group. So.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, I mean, man. So it was Turkey that won gold in 2016. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
And then you guys went head to head with Brazil. You guys beat Brazil for bronze in 2016, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So yeah, oh man, this is gonna be it's gonna be an exciting tournament. Like, you've been to 2 games. It's gonna be games number 3. What is an experience that you're just really looking forward to, or what is something that you're so excited to have happen in Tokyo this time around, as opposed to that can either be from past experiences, or is it just going to be so different this time around?
I think the general games experience is going to be a little bit different just because of the COVID restrictions that we are going to have. But I think in general, what I'm really excited about is mainly the games. Like, our team is probably the most prepared that we've ever been. We're really looking at these teams, and probably the way that we're training, honestly, right now is we don't know exactly what to expect from them, but we're holding them on a high pedestal, and which means that we have to hold ourselves just as high as well, or if not higher. So we have to play at a gold standard in order to get gold. And our team, because we're the most prepared we've ever been, we've been breaking some of those things down in practices, where we've been really lucky that we have also the men here, because they've been helping us prepare in our practices as well. And we're just ready to get out there and play. Like, we're ready to show everything that we have, because we're a way different team than we were in even 2019. We're just ready to go.
That is, man, you are definitely focused on some on that process, and you can definitely tell you've been through this a time or two. I love it. Do you have like an Olympic or Paralympic role model, or someone that you've looked up to that has kind of helped shape your shaped your career in how you present yourself, how you comport yourself, and someone that you've modeled your career after, or just someone that you look up to
Sure.
on the Olympic and Paralympic side?
Yeah, so for us, it would definitely be another goalball athlete because there's so many great athletes in general in goalball, but for me, it's been Lisa,
Okay.
um, and she's been a teammate of mine for a really long time. She was one of the people who introduced me to goalball first when I was 7 years old, and she was the gold medal center for the Beijing 2008 Paralympic Games, and I always looked up so highly to her because she has so much valuable experience. She's a really great athlete. I've never met anybody on the women's side who works as hard as Lisa does. And she is just a really great person to lead our team into this games. Um, she's helped a lot with just the mental aspect of sports. She's been to now 6 games when Tokyo
Wow.
comes around, and that's a lot. You don't find a lot of goalball athletes who have that experience behind them, but overall, she's also a really great friend. And I think you need all of that in order to be a really great role model, somebody who's positive, constructive, hardworking, a great friend, and somebody who has the experience of getting a previous gold in a games.
Wow. So wow. I mean, just that. I mean, that I love that. One of your teammates is someone that you can look up to, and that she's become such a good friend. That's so cool. She was one of the people that introduced you to goalball. Um, I got to ask this question because I think a few people are probably wondering this. So like if Team USA on the men's side and Germany are facing off, who's Amanda pulling for?
I wish our men the best. I really hope that they do well in this games, but I
Yep.
also hope that Michael does really well as well. I have to say maybe I would be a non-biased party because I love him.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that I love his teammates, but I love him a lot and I want
Oh
him to do
yeah.
the best and I want him to get a gold medal. But I also
Yeah.
wish the best for our guys, and I hope that they do really well as well, and they've worked hard for it and they deserve to do well. So I mean,
100%.
I may be a non-biased party, but I will always be Michael's biggest cheerleader. So if he scores a goal, I'll cheer for him. But if our guys score a goal, then I wish them the best.
Awesome. No, I always it's always fascinating to me because so my partner is actually is from a different is Canadian, so I face the same thing where she's a gold medal contender in Tokyo for triathlon, and we've
Yeah,
got 2 U.S. women. So I'm in the exact same boat as you. So I've
yeah.
been asked that question. I've been asked that question a lot. So I had to
I'm all
toss it
about
over to you.
Yeah, I'm all about the US. I'm very patriotic. I love Team USA, but I also hope that he does well because then, maybe we can invest in a house or something like that.
Yeah,
So I, I'm
100%.
I'm really pulling for him, and they're a high medal contender in Tokyo. They got
Yeah.
second at Worlds, and they're expected to do really
Wow.
well. So, um,
Wow.
I'm cheering for him every step of the way.
100%. 100%. Where do you guys make your home in Germany? Like what city?
So we live in the capital of Germany in Berlin.
Okay.
Um, it's a really great place to live, especially for an English speaker, because there are a lot of places in Germany that are beautiful and
Hmm.
also really great places to live. But a lot of those cities don't have English speaking people. And as I'm
Hmm.
looking for a job later on, I could of course look for a remote job in the U.S. But if I really want to get a job in Germany, Berlin was kind of the place that we decided on together. And there's so much cultural diversity in Berlin. There's so many people from so many different places and so many walks of life that you can find your niche or your group of friends anywhere. So you're not going to have to look too hard to find maybe other Americans or other people who are sporty and athletes. And I
Yeah.
speak a little bit of German, but
Okay.
but I would prefer not to have a work life in German because yeah, I
Uh,
feel a lot more comfortable in English. Like I can understand German really well, but
mhm.
when people are speaking to me in German, most of the time I respond in English,
Yeah.
unless I'm at a place like I'm getting service somewhere and I respect their culture and speak the language when I have to. But if I'm with friends or whatever, they might talk to me in German and I may respond in English.
For sure, for sure. So I mean, the next time, so I haven't been to Berlin yet. But if when I go to Berlin, give me three things that I got to do.
Yeah. It's so I've been there during COVID, so I
Okay.
haven't really got a lot to do while I was there. But you
Okay.
can always go to the Berlin Wall, and that wall
Ah.
kind of got knocked down when East and West Germany,
Mhm.
kind of got together, and they got rid of like the separation. You can go to Friedrichshain, which is a suburb in Berlin, and it is wow, it is a party city there. You could go to clubs, you could go party, you could find anything there. And ooh, they have this place. I think it's called like Currywurst 49 or something like that, but you'll find the best currywurst in Germany, like for sure.
Mm.
Everybody brags about it, and it's tasty.
Okay. All right. All right. I'll have to make some notes of that, and I'll have to make my way over to Berlin at some point.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
if you want to meet a diverse culture of people, maybe some different people, you would go up under the Frankfurt LA bridge.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, man. I mean, I have a zillion more questions. But one of the things that we like to do is throw it to our fans and our viewers for a few questions. So I'm gonna turn
Okay.
it over to producer extraordinaire, Mr. Bill Kellick, and I think he's got at least two or three fan questions for us.
Yes, Amanda, we have three in the queue. The first one comes from Ernst Kreuzl. He wants to know which moment in your career is the most memorable, and then which is the most disappointing.
Yeah. So this one may seem like it's not something that would be normal, but one of my favorite moments was winning silver at the qualifier last year, because we had worked so hard in Fort Wayne here, and that is an experience you'll never get again, competing in your home country with a home crowd and qualifying for the games after so much work that you put in. I believe that I was involved in the Rio qualification, but it wasn't like how we were here. All of the athletes on our team were, living in Fort Wayne, training in Fort Wayne. We were together all the time. We had so much that year that we had to work for. And so it became one of my favorite moments because we did it together. We worked hard together here. We know each other better than we ever have, and we were able to qualify for the games that way. And probably the most disappointing moment, um, for me maybe would be Peru last year, or in 2019. It was definitely a learning experience, when we were winning, and then in the last 10 seconds we gave up a goal, and we had to go into overtime in Brazil and we lost. It was a moment where our team learned a lot about ourselves. It was really disappointing, but we came back the next tournament and proved that we were, I believe, a match for Brazil and also a team that can bounce back. And that's something that we as a team have worked on a lot this year, especially in sports psychology, that you have to dominate the game, take it over, and then like make the game your own. And so that for me was probably the most disappointing, but probably the best learning experience.
All right, next question comes from Dwayne Jones. He wants to know, how are you preparing yourself for this year's games compared with other years?
Yeah. So this year I have put in a lot of different kinds of work. So for me in previous games, it was really important to be a center who was just going to defend a ball. I didn't need to be a good thrower. I didn't need to really do anything other than block the ball and give it to somebody else. And in previous games, that was just my role. And in this games, I've taken on a lot more stress, I think, in making myself stronger as an offensive player, while keeping my defense something to be improved upon, but still a really great game. And so this time I have worked more on my offense so that I can help our team get more goals, because no one person on our team is more important than the others. And we're all going to be really great throwers in Tokyo. So
All right, final viewer question comes from Patty Miller. She wants to know, how is your family dealing with not being in Tokyo?
yeah. So that is really such a hard thing. My parents have gone to every Paralympic Games that I've been able to compete at. They love traveling, like they love going to all these different places. And they were really disappointed when they found out that they couldn't go, because they wanted to come and support the team, both the men and the women, and obviously myself. And they literally had a hotel booked. They had so many things that they wanted to do, so many events, and they were disappointed. And so I've done a couple of really great things, hopefully, that will make them feel like the games are coming to them, even though they're not going to be at the games. And we've actually been lucky enough as a team to have Toyota step in and offer them the experience to go to Colorado Springs and like be the team behind the team. And that was something that they found a surprise, and it was just something that made them happy on the inside, and so I would say, they took hard, if they found out tomorrow that they could go to Tokyo and watch, they would buy a ticket and go. But unfortunately, that's not the situation. But they're going to be the biggest supporters from at home. So, and that really, it lights a fire in me. It makes me really excited to be able to compete, to represent all the people in the U.S., you guys, my parents, my friends, everybody who's behind us. And so I think that all of that is going to be something that pushes us forward.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's it's definitely going to be different with with no fans, no spectators, no family there. Yeah, no, I mean my I'm in the same boat where my parents were they were pretty bummed that they weren't going to get to go. But yeah, it's we're doing everything we can to make sure that you know everyone can support our goalball athletes, and every athlete that's going to be over there in Tokyo. But yeah, Amanda, let's wrap it up with just a few more questions on my end. Let's do some fun little get to know you a little bit more on like the fun side of you. And let's just start off with what's your goal ball number?
I'm number 5.
Number 5, because that's
Yeah.
because you give your teammates a big old high five after every goal, right?
Yeah, something like that. But I was also born on the 5th of February,
That's a good
yeah.
reason too. That's a good reason. All right. I know you guys have been working a lot with dietitian, nutritionist, all that, but after your last match in Tokyo, when you guys are wearing your gold medals proudly, what's the favorite post match treat that you are immediately going for?
I don't know if I can actually get this in Tokyo, so it may have to wait until I eventually go home or
Okay.
something like that. I love desserts. I'm down with any dessert that you want to give me. I love it. I love dessert more than regular food. So
Don't we all?
if you ever bring me something, I will always eat it. But I love two things that I love. I love coconut cake, coconut frosting with like cake and stuff. And I really love Cinnabon, like the actual
Ooh.
company cinnamon roll, Cinnabon, a hot gooey cinnamon roll with cream cheese frosting. I love it.
Oh, speaking my language. Woo! Making my mouth water too. I think it's lunchtime. We've come to the end. I'm just kidding, guys. Oh no, I love it. Cinnabon. Oh man, so many good memories from Cinnabon. Oh man, I'm about to go off on a food tangent. Reel back in. Oh man, do you have like a favorite music genre or band that you listen to?
I don't listen to music that often.
Okay.
other than when I'm working out, and I just have a playlist that plays literally the same song at the same point, every single lift that I do.
Okay.
It's not one song, it's literally like a playlist that runs through my
Okay.
workout. I like more upbeat music, so some sort of pop, or I like some country music. I love
Mhm.
T Swift. Taylor Swift
Okay.
is my favorite. So
Okay.
but she's not the best workout music. And then I actually like a couple of German pop songs as well
Okay.
that I have on my list. So yeah.
All right. All right. Are you a dogs or cats person?
Oh, I love them both. Like,
Love
if
them
you were
both.
to stop by and give me the choice between a puppy and a kitten, I wouldn't know which one to choose. I would be
Oh.
forced maybe to choose the puppy because Michael doesn't really like cats, but I
Ah, okay.
I love animals. I would take them all if I could. So,
Awesome. Awesome. Coffee or tea?
I love Starbs, so I guess I have to say coffee.
Nothing wrong with that. What's your go-to when it comes to that?
I love iced lattes, so cinnamon dolce or a
Okay.
vanilla iced latte, or even a frappuccino, because those are kind of desserts,
Yes, 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 they are. Yes, they are.
If there's ever a Starbucks, I will be the person who will be like, wait, stop.
That's
It's a
awesome.
team thing with us. We all love Starbucks.
For sure, for sure. I love it. I love it. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla. I'm not a big
Vanilla.
chocolate fan. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. To each his own. To each his own. Are you do you like to stay up late, or do you get up early?
I would like to say that I like to stay up late, but the thing is that I stay up late and get up early. So it's
Isn't
like
that
that with an athlete. You'll stay up maybe till midnight, and then you'll wake up at like 7, 8 o'clock or whatever in the morning, and you're like, I only got 8 hours, and
Yep.
you the first thing you do is a workout or whatever. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Isn't that always the case? Oh
yeah.
goodness. Sparkling or plain water?
Oh my gosh, I hate sparkling water. So plain
Really?
water for sure, yeah. I had
Okay.
sparkling water for the first time in Germany because I ordered a water. I was like, "Can I have a water?" And they brought back a sparkling water, and it was the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. I was like
Huh.
not expecting it. I took a big sip of it, and then I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And then it was sparkling water, and it was the worst. And ever since then, I'm like, I want regular water. You can take it out of the sink. You can give me a bottle of water. I don't care, but never give me that again.
I've never heard anyone have the quite that reaction to sparkling water.
Oh, it's
But
terrible.
wow. Okay.
And that
All right.
when you order water in Germany, they automatically bring you sparkling water. They don't ask you if you want like regular water versus sparkling water. And so,
Interesting.
and I didn't know that everybody there likes sparkling water and that's the norm.
Yeah.
But then I got it and I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting this. And that's why it was so bad, because if I was expecting to take a nice, refreshing sip of water, I got this like carbonated, salty cup of water that I was not wanting at the point in time.
Right, right. No, I get you. What's your favorite like non-goal ball activity to do?
Yeah. So I have a couple. I love reading. I could
Okay.
read so many books in a week if you just gave me some sort of Greek mythology or Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter.
Oh
Or
yeah.
really anything. I could read that, but I also like being active. So I love hiking and doing outdoorsy things.
Nice. Awesome. What's one bucket list item that you haven't gotten to cross off your list that like it, when your goal ball career can be over, or you just like there's just one bucket list item that you're like, I gotta cross this off my list. What would that be?
Michael and I want to go to Greece, and we're
Oh,
hoping maybe at the end of this year we'll get to go
okay.
to fulfill the bucket list item. But we want to take a tour of Greece, see the country. It's a really amazing country, has a lot of history involved with it, and it's such a beautiful place. So that is one bucket list thing that we want to do together.
Awesome. Okay. All right. It's you and it's you as the center. and you can choose 2 celebrities to be your wing players. Who are you choosing?
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if it's a celebrity, but I have a really favorite athlete in general.
Okay.
And I have a really, I love her. I
Okay.
love CrossFit. I love watching CrossFit. I love everything about the sport, except I don't want to be a CrossFit athlete. So I would never compete myself. Um,
Okay.
but I love Lauren Fisher. She's a big CrossFit athlete.
Yeah.
She's really strong. She has really great ideals behind her and a really great mentality. And she's such a great role model. So I would choose her. And then
Okay.
I guess if I had to go with a singer, I would choose T Swift because I also love her. So she may not be the strongest, she might not be the best thrower, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Hey, you can dream, right?
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh man. Well, Amanda, I wanna actually give you just a minute or two just to give out any special shout outs or thanks to to the people that have kind of helped you along the way. Some of your bigger influences, your bigger cheerleaders, any supporters that you've had. I just want to give you an opportunity to thank a handful of those people, because we all know it's been it's the team behind the team that gets us to where we are.
Yeah. So obviously, definitely want to thank my parents because they were a huge reason why I got involved in sports. They've always supported me, drove me an hour to practice twice a week in the beginning of when I first started my goalball journey. All the people in my family, literally every single one of them, even my brother who played a really small role. But I I also want to thank all the people in the USA Goalball community because they are the people who really make us better. They push us forward, giving us competition in the US, always being there to support us when we're gone, and being some of our biggest cheerleaders. I want to thank my German goalball community too because I have quite a few friends and people who are so amazing in goalball in Germany, who have helped me a lot throughout the last year and who have been really great friends and motivational
Mhm.
people,
Mhm.
and definitely all the people who are here in the U.S. supporting us. So USABA, some of the supporters who are from there. And just in general, the people who are cheering USA, rooting for us, pushing us forward, and being really the team behind the team. So if you can count yourself as somebody who's going to be cheering for us, then you are behind us with the team. You are the team behind us. And obviously, a ginormous thank you to my amazing teammates who have put in this work throughout the last 5 years to the Tokyo Paralympic Games. They have gone on this amazing journey that we will never be able to get back, that we look back upon and say, wow, we've grown a lot during this time period. And every single person who's played a role on USA Women's Goalball throughout the team, and throughout the men's team really as well, who have helped us prepare and been on this journey, they get a huge shout out as well.
Awesome, good stuff. How can we follow your journey and like keep up with you on like the social media platforms, and how can all because I know we've got some Amanda Dennis fans out there that they want to follow you, so how can they do that?
Yeah, so I have Instagram. I probably use that more than everything else because I post on my story all
Yep.
the time, whether it's my daily life in Fort Wayne or, behind the scenes at the Paralympics. I love showing, the processing or where we're living or even the cardboard beds we're about to sleep on,
Yep.
I'm going to be showing it all on my Instagram. I also have TikTok. And I'm not as active on there, but I'm going to be pretty active during the games on there just because it's a video platform and we're going to be
Yeah.
showing that a lot. USA Women's Goalball will be giving everybody an in-depth look at the Paralympic Games so they can follow all of the athletes on our team there. And yeah, I can't think of really anything else.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, guys, go give Amanda a follow on Instagram, on TikTok, and then always make sure to follow that USA Women's Goalball Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, the whole 9 yards. And then finally, Amanda, I have one more question, and it's something that I like to ask all of our guests. And that is, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah. So, oh gosh, that is a loaded question. That's something that I feel like I may only be able to answer a little bit of it, because it's so much. You want to be, as an athlete, you want to be remembered as so many things. You want to be remembered as a good teammate. You want to be remembered as somebody who works the hardest, who shows up and never complains, somebody who's a strategist, somebody who's, always giving their A game, no matter if it's on the court, off the court, whatever they do. But also, I want to be remembered as just somebody who's always willing to help anybody who wants to get better in goalball. Like, there's a lot of, I feel like in the US, a lot of people are scared to come talk to the elite players and ask them, like, hey, what's your story? Hey, can you help me with this? And all of us are there to help, and all of us love wanting to help you guys. And we want to be remembered for being great role models and for pushing goalball in the USA to the highest level, for future generations to compete, and for us to be able to cheer you on when we're old and sitting at home and watching USA goalball compete. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. You're well on your way to being remembered as such. I can assure you of that. And you're just continuing to build your legacy. So our guest today has been Amanda Dennis. This will be her third Paralympics. She's brought home a bronze medal before, looking to improve upon that. But I think no matter what place our USA women's goalball team is going to get, I know that they have a gold medal mentality and mindset. And ultimately, that's what matters. And look, you guys, we bring on all of our goalball athletes to show you guys that, look, they're real people, and they know how to have fun and push themselves and have a sense of humor and all that, just like every single one of you. That's why we call it the blind spot, where we talk with blind athletes that are reaching excellence. And I think, Amanda, you've embodied that that reaching excellence part so well. And I'm so pumped and excited to see what the women's team is going to do over in Tokyo this year. I'm just bummed that they're not allowing us to come watch you guys in person. But I'm so excited for you. Congratulations again on celebrating 1 year being married to Michael. That's super exciting. And yeah, guys, like I said, give Amanda a follow on all the social media platforms. Give USA Women's Goalball a follow. And as always, guys, hit those like and follow buttons for USABA on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We're pushing out content left and right. Bill will drop a link to sign up for the newsletter down in the comments. And just stay up to date with us, guys. We're only 29 we're like 29 days away or so, from 29 days away from opening ceremonies, about a month away from pool play of goalball at the Paralympics. Oh my gosh, it's real, guys. It's coming. And just get excited. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us again today. I really appreciate your time. I know you're super busy, but yeah, I know, just continue on your path of excellence, and I can't wait to watch you at the games.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Definitely had a really great time today. It's been cool chatting with you and everybody else. And we're excited to compete in Tokyo. And we will also be cheering you on as well in the triathlon.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. All right, guys, we've come to the end of another Blind Spot, where we talk with blind athletes reaching excellence. I'm your host, Kyle. As always, guys, continue to reach for your own version of excellence, whatever that may be. We'll see you again in just a couple of days with another interview of a goalball athlete we'll let you know who that is probably later this afternoon. So we'll see you again in a couple of days, guys. Cheers.